Welcome back to the plot, everyone. It's 20th of January and we've just seen the last of the cold weather for the moment go through. It's actually a lot milder today. It's about 8 degrees down here in Exeter, which is a nice change from the minus degrees we've had over the past week. Although we didn't get any snow, it was rather cold anyway. So I'm just giving these bits of wood a second coat. These are going to be for the table I'm building because this table I'm using is just a table for decorating indoors. The top of it is just sort of like cardboard, so it's totally unsuited for being left outside. It'd just get destroyed if it was left outside. So I'm I've got some decking wood that I got last year. I'll show you. Got quite a few of these. They've already been painted to treat them, to make them a bit more waterproof or weather resistant. Tomorrow, hopefully, I'll get down to Wicks and get some more wood for the legs. But what else has been happening? Well, what else has been happening? I've had a load of new subscribers. Thanks to a Facebook page that's been promoting my site. So okay, so there is a Facebook page or group called YouTube Allotmenteers, Home Growers and Foragers, and it's run by a nice woman called Susan Lax. So I'll put the details on the screen and I'll put the details in the description if you want to go and join. And she's got this nice Facebook group which promotes various gardening YouTube channels. And she's been promoting mine, so I've had an influx of subscribers. So thanks very much for that, Susan. If anyone's out there and they want to go and visit Susan's group, it's a closed group, so you've got to click on the button to subscribe. Then all the subscriptions are moderated, or is that the right word? Yeah, moderated, just to get rid of any spammers and just so they can get a nice little gardening community going there. So that happened last month. And as I say, there's been a whole load of new people come to my site, my YouTube channel, and watch a few of my videos, which is great. It's all good stuff. Feel free to click on subscribe and hit the button and do all that sort of things. And if you want to ask any questions, feel free. I'll try and answer as many questions as I get. But it got me thinking about some of the other channels that I watch, and I noticed names cropping up on other YouTube, because I watch quite a lot of YouTube channels, and I've got a few people subscribed to my channel who already have their own YouTube channel. So I'll just read out a few of the people that I know have subscribed to my channel, and they watch and they've got their own channel, and you can maybe think about going paying their channel a little visit. So I wrote some of these down because I've got a really bad memory. So right, okay, the first one is Alison Up My Rusty Garden. Alison, she's got this really huge garden over in Canada, and she's got all these little greenhouses and outbuildings that she uses to grow lots and lots of flowers as well as vegetables out in Canada. So it's worth a watch, seeing how people garden in extreme conditions. So that's a good one to watch. There's also Greta's Garden. That's another Canadian one, and she lives halfway up a hill. It looks like on the Labrador Straits, so it's really exposed and really cold, and she plants a lot in raised beds, which is great, and she does really well. She gets really good crops for the limited season she's got. It's very limited because of the weather she gets there. So yeah, that's worth a watch. There's Michael's plot and home garden. This is Michael. He's got this. He's got a really large allotment near Great Yarmouth, I think, somewhere over in the east coast of England, Norfolk somewhere. So yeah, that's a good one to have a look at as well. He's just had a new dog, beautiful little thing. And of course, there's Susan Lax, who's got the Facebook page, YouTube Allotmenteers, Home Growers and Foragers. So yeah, go pay them a visit. Other ones I watch. I watch lots and lots of different ones. So there's Tony C. Smith, which he's practically famous. You know, he's got such a great channel, and such a nice man. And there's Muddy Boots, another great gardener. There's Andy 160676. There's Naturally JB, who always seems to be giggling for some reason. There's Jessie at plot 37. She's got a nice plot in London, which she tends to with her mum and the girly whirlies, who are our chickens. She's got a few chickens as well. There's Mark's allotment plot, which is in I think it's near Edinburgh, which is also interesting because the weather conditions that he gets there. And there's Terry King's allotment gardening on a budget. He's in Warwickshire, I believe. Then there's In the Garden with Eli and Kate. That's another pair of Scottish gardeners who I think they're more of on the west of Scotland, so maybe more nearer Glasgow. I could be wrong, but I get the impression that they're more of nearer Glasgow than Edinburgh, so, or maybe in between. Then there's Jane's Growing Garden, which is another allotmenteer who's got chickens, which is great to see. Then there's Katrina's Homegrown Garden, which is great. She's got a lovely young woman who's got this plot in Nottinghamshire. Lovely little plot she's got there, and she's doing really well. Got a really good subscription base. And there's a few other ones who are more professional, like Charles Dowden and Hugh Richards in Wales, who I watch. And you see, get little bits of information off each one. I mean, that's not an exhaustive list. There are other people I watch as well, like Dave's Allotment, which is in South Shields, I think, up in the northeast of England. So, I mean, it's good to see all these people gardening in different conditions, you know, to what I've got. And it's quite interesting to see how they go on with the challenges that nature throws them. And also, it's a good reminder to me, you know, if I see Dave's Allotment putting his tomatoes in or something like that, then I know it's time for me to get, you know, my seeds on, because it's usually a lot warmer down here in Exeter than it is up in the northeast of England. So I'm just giving these bits of wood a second coat just to make sure. First coat really just gets absorbed, and a lot of this wood is recycled wood that was used for something else. This wood these parts were originally part of a compost bin that I built, and they're almost the exact length I need. So it was good to get these, because it meant I didn't have to saw anything. The decking I got was someone at work was getting new decking in, and they had all this manky old rotten decking they were getting rid of. But I grabbed about a dozen planks of it, and once I jet washed it to get all the filth and the sort of algae and grime and God knows what off it, they actually turned out to be quite good bits of wood. So they were jet washed to clean them up, then I let them dry for a few weeks, and then they got painted with this wood stain to sort of weatherproof them a little bit. But yeah, I really need to get my own proper table that I can just leave out. It's quite annoying having to keep putting this table up and putting it back down, especially at this time of the year, because you don't get an awful lot of time on the plot. So get all them done. So I've just had plot neighbours walk past me as I've been talking. They must think I'm absolutely off my head talking to myself. Never mind, not to worry. And I don't have any Delilah this week. Delilah's my allotment buddy who's got a plot just up the back behind the trading hut. She got her own plot. She was helping me with my plot until she got her own plot, and she got her own plot last year, so we spent a bit of time sorting that out, and she's over the moon. She's got her own plot. She can't wait for spring to arrive so she can get planting stuff. But she was working all last weekend, and she's decided to take this weekend off from doing any allotment work, which is understandable. She's got other things to be doing. But yeah, it's big difference from temperature wise from the rest of the week. Don't get me wrong, I quite like winter days sometimes, because I'm walking to work and back, you know, as long as it's not too slippy or dangerous or icy, you know, it's quite a nice walk as long as you wrap up well. In fact, I was here all last weekend. Sorry, I wasn't, not all last weekend, all last Saturday. It'll be the 13th, and the temperature only got as high as 2.8 degrees all day, and then it went back down to -5 in the evening. But just get these done. The construction workers have gone home. They were here this morning. I think they've been doing a bit of weekend work to try and make up for lost time from all the storms we've been had. And if I remember rightly, we've got another storm due to hit the UK tomorrow evening. Storm Aisha, I think, or Isha, which is going to hit us with strong winds and rain. So before I leave, well, I'll be up here tomorrow, but before I leave tomorrow, I shall be making sure there's nothing lying around that's going to get blown around and potentially damage anything. Okay, last one. So, what I was doing last week was digging out compost from my compost bins, sifting it, and bagging it up, because I'll show you in a minute, but I want to empty one side of my compost bin to get compost for a new raised bed that I'm going to be building. And once I get it emptied, I can turn the compost over from the other side into the compost bed, and I should be able to get some compost off the bottom of the other side as well, because there should be some stuff down at the bottom that's ready to be used. So that's that. Let's see that one. These are actually going to be underneath, so I'm going to have the decking boards going lengthwise like that, and these are going to be underneath and across like that to hold all the decking together. So they're going to be protected by the top decking anyway, so they won't need a lot of paint. Anyway, let me show you what I was talking about with the compost bins. Okay, so this is the compost bin I'm digging out, and I'm halfway there. If I show you, what I'm doing is putting it in this sieve and just sifting it, breaking it up. The reason I'm sifting it is to get bindweed out. Right, I know a lot of people watch Charles Downing, and he's no dig beds, and he claims that by putting 6 inches or so of compost over bindweed it kills them. That's not my experience. These beds are about 12 inches deep with compost, and I've got bindweed growing in them. Also, this entire plot was covered with carpet when I took it over. What I found is that the bindweed just grew and grew and grew until it reached the edge of the carpet. It then got sunlight and was able to grow. When I ripped the carpet up, there's massive big thick roots of bindweed were in there. So I don't think you can get rid of bindweed by just covering it in compost and keep covering it up and knocking it back. It's such a difficult plant. In my experience, that's not an effective cure for bindweed. I wish it was, but it's just not my experience. Anyway, that's a tangent. But a lot of this is waste from the rabbits we've got back home. Angus and Nelly, more bindweed. I've got a bag down here that's just getting full of bindweed. Then I'm going to take that to the tip, and they can deal with it. They've got hot composter or something. So yeah, that's the reason I'm sifting it. I don't want to take bindweed from here and just transport it to another part of my garden. But this is good compost. I used 6 bags to fill up. I've got a little bed down here, I'll show you. And what I did was I dug out about the first 6 to 8 inches of topsoil from the bed, and I replaced it all with compost from this compost bin. The other good thing about sifting this compost is it allows me to get rid of any nasties that come across it, any plastic that's somehow managed to get in here. But it is a bit of work, and it does take time, but the results are worth it, especially with the cost of compost these days. There's a stone that can go down there. And what I do is I get down to the bottom, and anything that's not composted properly will just go back into the bin to have a second attempt. So there's a few things in here that never got composted. That's a bit of charcoal from something that's been burnt from the incinerator probably. The rest are just small stones, things like that. These go back in, and I've got the rest of this bay to do. I'll just swing a camera around. So once I've got this side done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer all the stuff from this side over. Then I will be able to get, there's bound to be about a foot or so of compost at the bottom of that side as well. So I'll then be able to dig that out and use that for my raised bed. And if you look at this, this is all really nice compost. In fact, I think you'd struggle to buy compost as nice as this commercially. It's all good stuff, and it's all, I was going to say organic, but yeah, it's hard to say. I do use some things in my garden, but it's all mostly made out of bunny waste and grass clippings, which is going to be one of the next jobs I do. Let me just show you the bed that I filled up last weekend. So this is the bed. I took about the top 6 to 8 inches out, and I filled it back. Took about 6 bags of compost to fill this, and as you can see, one of the local foxes has been walking across it. Don't mind that. However, I do mind when they start using it as a latrine. So yeah, so I've got compost to dig out, but the next task I'm going to do is a bit of grass cutting. So I'm just going to assemble my electric lawnmower. A lot of the tools I use on the plot are from Works, WORX, and the reason for that is because it means I can swap the batteries between the different things. So I've got a little saw and I've got a little angle grinder, which both use the same batteries as this, and I've also got a strimmer that uses the same batteries as this lawnmower, which is good because it means when if I buy something, I can buy the bare bones unit without the battery, because the batteries are about 40 quid each. So if you buy the bare bones unit without the battery, it's quite a big saving if you've already got the batteries there already. The only other power tools that I use battery-wise that are not Works is Bosch. I've got a Bosch drill, which I use for screwdrivers and drilling and things like that. So, but most of my power tools are Works. And yeah, I buy these myself. I don't get given these by Works. This is not bad. It's electrically powered to 40 volts by 2 of these batteries. It's not very good with thick grass or wet grass, so try and do it. I don't know, you can see that there's a little battery indicator there. Bring it a bit closer. You can see full battery. But yeah, it's not very good on wet grass, long grass. But it's a lot better than having to go around just trimming everything. Plus it also collects the grass that I can use for putting my compost bin. So I'm going to do a bit of grass cutting, then I'm going to have a cup of coffee and a biscuit. Well, that's the batteries run out for the lawnmower and the strimmer. I've got quite a lot done, but I think it's now time for a cup of tea, or a cup of coffee actually. I love Tunnock's tea cakes. Sadly I don't have any of them, but I do have a fake wagon wheel to have. Well, I'm going to have this cup of coffee and this biscuit. Then I'll give you a quick look around. There's not an awful lot to see. But I'll give you a look around. Can't cut any more grass because the batteries are dead. It always takes a lot more power when the grass is wet and it's long. So, cup of tea, this biscuit, quick tour, then I'll get back onto sifting more compost out the compost bin. Okay, I've finished my coffee. Let me give you a quick look around while we've still got some daylight left. The daylight is going fast, and the reason it's going fast is because this is the third time I've had to do this little bit of video because I've accidentally switched the camera on. Accidentally switched the camera off if I started doing the tour. So let's give you a quick tour of the plot, show you what's going on, and there isn't an awful lot, so this won't take long. So let me turn the camera around and I'll show you around the plot. Okay, first things first, brassicas. Kale is still doing really well. As you can see, I've picked some to take home. This is Toscana de Nero, which is roughly translated as the Black Tuscan. It's just like Cavolo de Nero. It's a different variety almost. These are all still doing well and still very pickle. You can see where these ones got attacked by the pigeons when I left it with the net off. That's why I've had to put the net back over. But yeah, these are all doing really well. Some nice young leaves on there. They'll be good. This one, still not 100% sure of what these two plants are. I'm hoping they're going to be purple sprouting broccoli, and we're going to get some purple sprouting broccoli. That was the normal Calabrese broccoli that we had. That's gone over, that's all done now. In this bed we've got some perpetual spinach and some beetroots. Neither are doing very well in these extreme cold temperatures we've had. This bed's empty. This bed's got parsnips in. I will be taking one out of there probably tomorrow. I don't need it tonight, so I'll probably get it tomorrow. This bed was mulched over. It's a very clay bed, this, so I'm hoping by mulching it over, and this is just waste from the two rabbits we have. This will break down and add some organic matter back into this bed because it is quite a little bit clay. And my battery warning light has just come on, so I've got 3 minutes. This is the ice that's growing in my water bottle. So yeah, very, very cold temps last week. Broad beans, not doing very well. I'm going to let them go for now, but if they don't pick up, I'm going to take these ones out and just plant again from new at the start of March. So that's with them. Nothing in this bed. We've got some carrots growing in a tub in there, but yeah, not really big enough. I'll let them go. Try to get a little bit bigger before I pull them out. Must remember to close that because I've got a storm over the next couple of days. This is going to be the new bed that I'm putting here, where I'm going to grow carrots in. So I'm putting some soil down here to try and raise this level of this edge up because it's on a bit of a slope. Well, the whole allotment's on a bit of a slope, but I want to just raise this end up a bit so it's equal height. These are the other sections that I'm going to be making this raised bed out, and this is where the raised bed is where I'm going to be putting my homemade compost that I'm getting from over there. This bed's empty. That bed was a waste of time all year. Got barely anything out of it. Everything did grow, got slugged very quickly. So I'm going to have a rethink. Here we've got the potato pots that we grew potatoes in last year. This is spent compost. What will happen with these is I'll mix this compost with some of the compost out of the bin and recharge it with some blood, fish and bone, and hopefully we'll get a nice environment for growing potatoes again this year. This bed wasn't used again this year, but you can see where the raspberry runners have come underground from this bed, underground and up over this bed. This will get weeded out and we'll use it for something this year. This bed, next weekend, hopefully, once I've got all the grass cut, what I'll do is I'll strip all these down to about that high from the ground, then I'll weed the bed, and that'll be the raspberries ready for next year. The blueberries, this needs a good weed, and we've got a bag of ericaceous compost to go in this bed. As you can see, it says there on the packet, for lime hating acid loving plants. So the compost is a bit more acidic than normal, and we're losing the light desperately. Last thing here is the onions. I'll need to get down low for these so you can actually see anything. Okay, as you can see, we've got some onions coming up, and these are the onion sets I got from twin sister Dolores, so they're doing okay. There should be 2 lines of garlic in here, and I can't see any. And this is the first year I've had a garlic failure, and it was, I'll need to check where I got it from, but it was commercially brought garlic, so I was a bit disappointed that it hasn't come up. However, the elephant garlic's come up, so I've got a whole line of elephant garlic there. But yeah, a bit disappointed with the other garlic, but not an awful lot going on. We are losing the light. My battery says I've got 2 minutes left, so let me just sign off. Well, that's it for another day. It's a bit grey and dreary here in Exeter today, but at least it's not freezing temperatures. I have managed to get quite a bit of work done today, believe it or not, so I'm quite happy with that. But we're going to lose the light, I'm going to lose the batteries in this camera, so I'm going to head home now, and I'll see if I can get this done tonight. But thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, thanks for popping in and having a look. I hope you've enjoyed watching today's video. Please feel free to leave a comment. I'll try and answer as many comments as I can. Please feel free to subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, and if you do subscribe, click the little bell. That way you'll be notified whenever I put a new video up. But thanks again for watching, and I will see you again next time soon. Bye.